Welcome to the Brutal Game. As always, I am Blake here with Ferris.
Hola.
And Ron.
What's happening?
And on tonight's episode of the Brutal Game, we are back from the international break as a North London derby happens and London remains red as Arsenal smash Tottenham, courtesy of the former Spurs hopeful. London signing Eberechi Eze's hat trick. Kick him right where it hurts twice. Then who would have thunk at the beginning of the offseason, but Liverpool now sit in 12th place as they have lost their second Premier League match in a row by a 3-goal margin, this time to Nottingham Forest. And to round it out, all the rest of Premier League matches we will talk about on match week 12, and then we'll recap them in our 2-minute drill. Then we'll blow the halftime whistle for the Barca who of the Blues and the did we just dilapidate the Catalonians. Ron shares with us all the news that's fit to drink and yet another edition of Ron's Beer News. And finally, for the second half of the pod, we'll look at what's happening and what's been happening in America's league, or American League soccer, I should say, as well as bounce on over to Europe to round out the matches from today's Champions League fixtures. We're recording on a Tuesday evening. November, what is this? 25th? Jeez. And this will be our edition of the LeagueA's Roundup. But first, Ferris has beer.
Yeah, I do. Crap, I forgot that I was up.
It's the last thing you said to us before we started recording was that you'd go first.
Totally forgot that. Straight out the window. So it's the first time that Ron is in the new Ferris Brutal Game studio. I think we mentioned on a pod a few weeks ago that we kind of moved the studio over this way as Ron welcomed his second child into the world a few months back, and space and rooms are scarce.
Reshuffling, the great reshuffle.
So we moved the desk over, we moved the board over, we moved the mics over, and this is the first time that Ron's made it over so that we can record. So I got off work and I went down to the local brewery here in Ocoee, Florida, Toll Road Brewing, and I picked up not one but 2 sets of beer. So we're gonna have 2 beers on the pod tonight from Toll Road, both poured no more than 3-4 hours ago, straight from the old tap. And it's a bit of a holiday as you will, as we move into Halloween and fall and into the more Christmas part of the season.
The festive time of the year.
Festive time. There you go. That's the word I was trying to find. But the first one we have is going to be a fest beer. 5.4%, 23 IBUs, can date 11/25 because it was poured about 3 hours ago, and it is called the. And I'm gonna might not get this right, but the Schnitzengiggle.
The what?
The Schnitzengiggle.
2 is that my limit on Schnitzengiggles.
Yeah, the Schnitzengiggle fest beer from Toll Road Brewing, here in Ocoee, Florida. So this will be our fall beer, if you will, and the next one would be the more festive Christmas beer.
Awesome.
Well, you give me a good segue because I'm going straight to Christmas.
Okay, man, you're not supposed to do that till after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we're going to jump on this now because I'm too excited about this. And London is red, and so I got a beer that reminded me of my favorite Arsenal lumbersexual that's ever been, and I will send you guys a picture of the can right now. If you will look in our little chat thread. This is the Dogfish Head Pennsylvania tuxedo beer that, as you will see, is wrapped lovingly in flannel the whole way around. For all your favorite lumbersexuals. This is a pale ale brewed with spruce tips. Let me get a little description here. With a commitment to quality, our team of talented brewers and sensory experts here at Dogfish Head work diligently to provide a consistent experience. The appearance of this ale is copper with a bright white head. The aroma is a grassy citrus kick, complemented by resinous conifer notes of fresh green spruce tips. The flavor is dry, malty backbone that lets the hops and spruce shine. and the mouthfeel is that of balanced bitterness. I do love how Dogfish lays out their beers when you go on to their website and puts them out. So this is a spruce infused pale ale, Pennsylvania Tuxedo, pays homage to the flannel-suited hunters and gatherers who dwell deep in the backcountry of north central PA. This sessionable concoction has a grassy citrus kick, complemented by the resinous conifer notes of fresh green spruce tips and dry yet doughy malty backbone that lets the hops and spruce shine while still balancing out the bitterness, making this one easy drinking ale rich with aroma of Paul Bunyan's cologne. Which I would also argue would have been a great name for this beer, but I do like Pennsylvania.
That's absolutely.
I like Pennsylvania Tuxedo. And on the note of an homage, a flannel-suited homage to the hunters of the area, I was at my little Kung Fu Wing Chun class tonight, and there's this good old boy, Pennsylvania guy that like you'd never guess would be in a class like that. Good dude. And we have had a couple of potluck dinners. He always brings like smoked ribs or smoked deer or whatever. I'm like, hey man, what you doing for Christmas or for Thanksgiving? I know you're gonna cook the turkey good. He goes, my wife, she does it. I don't touch the turkey because I always make stuff weird, is what she says. I want to get weird rubs on it or do weird injections. So she's like, can we just do a normal turkey? So I let her do the turkey. I was like, you're not doing anything? He goes, oh, I'm making raccoon stew. Don't get me wrong. But she's doing the turkey.
That's awesome.
Right? So I'm super glad that I'm at this beer tonight. This is from my buddy John over in class.
Awesome.
It'll be rude if you don't ask him to try raccoon stew.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, are you? So there, we have a potluck for the leftovers of Thanksgiving this Saturday after class. So, so I will let you know if he had any raccoon stew left over. Well,
that's going to be Amy.
Yeah. Well,
yes, it is.
little trash panda stew.
Yeah. He said it's the bison of the woods.
Yeah. Hopefully, just didn't get off of like his garbage can the night before and just throw it in.
Well, I guess that's not the bison of the woods, dude. That's the bison. That's the urban bison. That's what that is.
Yeah, that's definitely urban bison.
Would you?
Oh,
so I'm very glad I'm doing a beer and
you know what?
The
Bison Stews sounds like the new beer from Butternuts Brewing.
You mean raccoon stew for Butternuts?
Sorry. Bison of the what?
Bison of the forest is what he first called it. Yeah.
It's the bisons of the wood porter. And you're like, oh, from Butternuts. Oh,
yeah.
That just seems like that would be one. Well, the spruce tip though, kind of switching subjects. Where were we at Skagway Brewing?
Yeah,
when we had a really good spruce tip beer there.
Yeah, that was spruce tip red, if I recall.
Yeah, but it was with their spruce from there. It was fantastic.
When you were, I can't remember when Ron, you came up to visit. We went to Bull's Head Pub in Lidditz. There was a spruce tip lager.
Yes,
that was so good. So it's like, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, you feel like you never see a certain kind of vehicle until you go shop for one, and then you're like, everybody drives these because you notice them everywhere. I feel like I'd never seen spruce tip beers, and I've seen so many within the last 2 months. Like I'm like, man, I feel like there's been a ton. So,
Tis the season.
But I haven't had Dogfish ale, especially I haven't had a new Dogfish ale beer to me in quite some time. So I'm excited to try this.
It's been a bit since I've had a new Dogfish head.
Was it a Dogfish head that when the really early pods?
When Ron was
stuck down. Yeah, Ron was hungover as hell.
Scrapple beer?
Yeah, it had Pennsylvania Scrapple style. Yeah, and he wouldn't do it.
Right?
You and I would, but he was so hungover.
Lost that. I think it was the third of three because you had the great idea to be hungover that day and then bring 3 beers on the pod to make it.
But you know what it was? He wanted breakfast, so he brought the pork slap bacon.
Yes,
it was the Scrapple breakfast stout, and then some other one. I don't remember what it was.
Oh man,
it was like it was a fruit beer, as I recall.
Yeah, yes, that's what it was.
Fruit course, but I squarely blame your wife, Blake.
Because she made the white cranberry liquor drinks.
Yeah, but she was making doubles and didn't realize it. And so she and I were just waxed by like 8 o'clock at night.
Like, is Ron asleep by our toilet? I think he is. And you're like, if the floor is cold, it feels good.
I just remember like we're the old setup. Blake and I were like across from each other. And at one point, we looked over at Ron, and if somebody could have been green, Ron was green. He just looked sicker than hell. And he just looked at us, and me and Blake were just like, "You son of a bitch, we're sloshing this thing down like you wouldn't believe."
Yeah, we're doing this. Yeah,
I don't even remember what pod it was. It had to be like first 20 episodes.
Well,
or something.
and it's what started the famous. Like, we don't like butternut brewing because that pork slap was like, I think the quote was, "I like my barbecue good and greasy, not my beer," I think was something to that effect.
Hilarious.
Yes.
Oh, God. Good memories.
Yes, indeed. All right. Here we go.
to better beer this go round.
Yes.
Can I trade glasses with you? So I can take
Yeah. I don't, but mine just has the, for the
I
bay.
just mean that it's clear.
Oh, yeah,
This
yeah,
one
yeah.
isn't.
Yeah.
Ron, you should snag this Pennsylvania Tuxedo if you can. This is one of those beers that when you crack it open, it smells like brewing beer at home.
Nice.
Where you just have that hop aroma through your whole house for a day or two.
I miss brewing in our house.
Man, I do too. I was trying to cool it off quicker, so we put the bucket in the pool because it was taking forever to get to room temperature. Oh yeah.
Let's go.
Oh man.
Every little bit.
Oh, it smells so good. I've seen you wearing that soccer shirt I snagged you, Ron, for the tent sale that happens toward the beginning of the year. So I have to keep an eye out for that again.
T-shirt.
Well, I think they had a Black Friday special going on right now, so I may have to get over there for that.
Dude, the Dortmund one you got me for like the what's the sign language?
Oh, no, it had the Braille on it, right?
Yeah. Super cool. I love that kit, man. Love that kit. I wear it pretty much every time they play or have a big game now.
This is a sweet soccer store. It's dangerous. Every time I've gone in, there's new kit, there's new gear and stuff. I'm like, oh man, this is dangerous. All right, gentlemen, cheers.
All right, so
Cheers. Ooh, top of the pour for Ferris there.
Ooh, wow, this is smooth as hell, y'all. This is super hoppy, but smooth. Like you get that hop flavor, but it's not really bitter on the back end at all. This is highly recommended. This is like, it's kind of like what's where I'm looking for? It reminds me a lot of Sierra Nevada's Celebration. We always snag every year, but it smells as hoppy, but it's not as bitter on the back end. Not saying it's better than the other one, just slightly different, but it's super smooth drinking.
Heck yeah. This is just a quality fest beer that true to the style where it's not very malty or bready or anything like that. It's slick, it's smooth. You can tell it was poured out from the tap just a few hours ago. So it still has a little bit of that crispness to it.
A pretty good malt balance in it.
Mm-hmm.
This is so good. I did start collecting my Christmas beers right before you. I think you were off, Ron, but I told Ferris my wife's down in Virginia and ran by a beer store. Brought me back a couple of corked bottles of the large St. Bernardus Christmas ale.
Nice.
Oh God, love that one so much.
I don't know what my favorite beer during the holiday season is.
The go-to, I always get Celebration. Matter of fact, I got to get some because I like to base my turkey with it. Because as that runs off, it makes a really good gravy with the drippings afterwards.
Not a euphemism.
You know what, though? If I don't get any, I might use this beer. Because this is very similar.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Good. Look at Ron taking the photos with the Pride and City bobbleheads in there. All right.
Yeah, at some point, I will set up my situation so I've got more soccer stuff in the background. I've been bad about setting up my studio properly. I moved too much in 3 years, so I'm like, I'm all hesitant to like put stuff up again.
I've done okay with like the background. I really didn't intend for it to be, but it just turned out to be a nice like Zoom and what background for the Pride, and then still have the box of stuff that we got from Ron's that's sitting there. We haven't done anything with. I got a wall we got to do some stuff with, but yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I gotta start decorating at work. I need Arsenal stuff. Hey, speaking of that, that's a good segue.
Like we've done this before.
Gentlemen, I'm gonna tell you, I have been working tons of weekends and not been able to watch a lot live. And then this weekend, I was working Saturday, but not Sunday, and my family had gone down to visit my in-laws. So the house was just empty on Sunday. And I walked down and cut on the pre-game stuff around 11 or whatever. And I sat there, and I realized it's an audio pod, but I sat there. My couch has like the kick out lazy boy seat thing, for your legs. Kicked it back, had a beer or had like a beer something, and I just crossed my fingers on top of my head, and I started watching that way because I was so nervous about this game. Because while it's a North London derby that Arsenal's going into with one of the best teams it's had in a long time, Man City, Liverpool, everybody done effed up over the weekend. And I was like, oh man, when I saw, and we'll get to those matches, what happened with Liverpool and then Man City, who was creeping up, I got really nervous that, oh no, this is the kind of one that can be a draw that feels like a loss, but that's not what happened. London. Thank you. I need to load that. I don't have that up in my sound files yet. Arsenal 4, Tottenham 1. It was pretty much all one-way traffic at the Emirates as Arsenal demolished their North London foes by a scoreline of 4-1, despite a wonderful free kick by Richarlison. Man, when his mug is on TV, I just was like, we must win. I don't know what it is about that guy.
All I think about every time, and there's he could come to Orlando City, and I'm like, that might be when I end my season tickets. You know what I mean? But the only thing I think of when I see him every time is like, who the gets neck tattoos like that? Like him and the other Brazilian from Man City that's now on the Pine, or no, where's he playing? He's in Turkey now, I think. But like, why do they get neck tattoos like that? Anyways.
Well, who knows? He didn't grow up where they did.
Very true.
Where Charleston had a Golazo in the 55th minute that proved meaningless. By the way, he's had a couple of amazing goals that meant nothing in these matches. There was a quote that Graham Lasso and who else was doing the commentary for the game was like, he is a man. What did he say? It was something like a man that has a tendency to score wonder goals, but also a man that tends to not score many goals. Like, I mean, it was some sort of weird backhanded compliment about the thing. I wish I had written it down.
Drury.
What's that?
Peter Drury.
Peter Drury. Oh, that had to be a Peter Drury quote because it just was such a little backhanded like compliment. But that goal was meaningless as the star man on the day was none other than the Tottenham Hotspur hopeful London signing of Eberechi Eze. God.
Eberechi
Eze. Thank you very much. That was a tongue. Eberechi Eze was eating asparagus by the pool.
Eberechi Eze was eating asparagus by the pool.
That's our.
How do I have a stutter? But I can say that kind of crap.
I don't know. You can't say Pulisic.
Wild.
I like that he's just cluing into this.
Yeah, I know, but it makes me mad.
I like that we did it.
I can't say simple words, but yet I can say Eberechi Eze likes asparagus by the pool on an effing Sunday with an elephant. Like, I don't.
That right there is your Anchorman warm up. That's what you need to say before every pod. But he showed the Spurs what they missed out by scoring a hat trick on his debut North London derby, which has never happened in the Premier League era. But since 1887, it's happened 4 times against the clubs. There's been, I think it was 4 hat tricks. They were throwing out the stats left and right in this match. And just to add insult to injury, Arsenal moves 6 points clear at the top and 11 away from Tottenham in ninth. So Tottenham Day coming earlier than it has in the last couple of years.
Real nice, Clark.
It's so. The 2 talking points. The first quick one was, and Gabby, right? he was Gabriel was not going to be in the match.
Ruled out for a few months here.
For a few months with an injury that happened on international duty, and that was the other like, I'm a little nervous going to this match. But as Arsenal has shown so far this year, kind of like Man City a few years ago, whatever, we'll just switch the bitch around. Look who's on the bench. We're fine. And,
I like to switch the bitch around and just see what you got.
Yeah, like we've got, and it's which they did. I mean, they looked great, but also, I mean, what a bunch of limp noodles the Spurs came out to play with that 3 in the back and like not really looking like they were gonna go for it. I mean, was it like 40 minutes in and they had like 35% possession? Arsenal had like, I don't know how many shots. They had none. It was
a complete rollover.
It did, like,
oh yeah,
yeah, complete and utter rollover. That then, I mean, he made some changes. Thomas Frank coming back into the second half, but I don't know, or like in the setup. But they great, awesome. I mean, Arsenal, you love to see this happen. What a great day. But boy, the Spurs just did not look like they thought. What do you think thought was? Well, let's just try not to lose big and see if we can get a point out of this. Was that how they went into it?
Not sure. I mean, going away to the Emirates is always going to be tough. Arsenal are best there.
But Tottenham has been great on their away form too.
They have been. I think from some more matches that we'll talk about here in a bit, the international break, I think, played a bit into all of this. I don't know why it felt like it was a much longer time off than the usual 2 weeks, but it's also the last international break until March, I think.
Yeah.
So it almost felt like a lot of teams weren't just quite up to par. Now, I don't think you can quite put that down to Tottenham being as bad as they were in this game. But as we're looking at the stats here, I think it's very interesting that between this game and the game we'll talk about next, heavily on the Arsenal way. Expected goals, 1.93, 17 total shots, 3 big chances, 57% possession. It's all red that we're looking at. The next game we'll talk about, all red to Liverpool, but the score very much different on how that ended up and how those chances were taken. Right. So this was Arsenal capitalizing on those chances. And they, you can say they got a few luckier breaks on the first, as these first 2 goals, where he ball kind of bounced around and I think he nutmegged like 2 defenders. The other took a pretty good deflection in. But all in all, it was just one way of Arsenal just attacking. So, luck favors the bold there in terms of just how they kept going at it and just blasting, Tottenham, and they didn't have an answer.
When Trossard got that first goal, I will say I had a feeling of like, oh, this might open up a lot. Because now all of a sudden they've been playing so conservative, Spurs, they're forced to open up. Again, the way they went into this match just kind of rolled over. Anything can happen in North London Derby. I don't know why you would do that. Even if on paper that your team is not going in as good. When does that matter in these rivalry games? Just go for it. And I think that's the thing that most Tottenham fans are the most walked away the most up, which just was like, well, we didn't even try to do this.
Yeah, it's interesting. Tottenham in their 1 win in their last 5, 3 losses, 1 draw. It doesn't look like anybody's really taking to the Thomas Frank, style or setup or tactics all that well. It was just a few match weeks ago when players walked off, giving him the snub.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't expect that much from Tottenham this year. And if Thomas Frank survives the year, I think this team is going to look way different come next year. If Thomas Frank stays, also considering that there's no more Levy, right?
Well,
because it's post Levy area. And I think too, to your point, Ron, he started a different lineup in this. He started what was essentially a back five opposed to a back four that he started against United the game before that. So you threw in an extra center back. When's the last time the Danzos played at center back for them?
Yeah,
I don't remember. You know, a big loss, obviously, at the beginning of the year with James Madison. Kulusevski's still out. No, Xavi Simmons in this didn't start. Koulibaly didn't start. I think they both come on. Brendan Johnson didn't start. So it was a very... he went in, I don't want to say fearful, but went in defensive.
Super defensive.
And went in almost expecting that, opposed to playing. All those names that I just said all came off the bench and were subs in the second half at some point. And, you know, Arsenal were up at 3-1 at that time or 4-1 at that time. And Tottenham kind of got more back into it. And maybe the game was kind of too far gone at that point. But why did he start the lineup that he did? I think that only invited Arsenal to come in and just attack and just overrun them. And the goal where it was a 5-hole, it was not Ezzy's first goal, it was Trossard's first goal that took a deflection. Just kind of half-assed defending, if you will, and a bounce here, a ball in between the leg there, and boom. Next thing you know, it's 3-4-1, and Tottenham are gone from the game. And that's a large part of the second half.
It's something like 20-some minutes went by, and you realized they had only been living at Tottenham's goal. Like, Tottenham had never barely crossed the pitch, I think, once in that time. Just the only guy playing for himself was Richarlison. I love how he walks away. Like, did you see what happened with Gabriel after the game, tagging him in an Instagram post?
Yeah, because didn't he tag Gabby in a post last year or something?
Yeah, like something about it had to do with Holland too, right? I don't think it was even Richard. Like, it wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was the whole be humble thing, right?
Yeah, something with that. And then he does it to him like, oh, I love it. I hate you're on the bench, but I love you're like weirdly trying to be as part of much of this team still right now playing.
Yeah, that's right. It wasn't a free kick from him. It was like
like half court,
like a half court, like
he caught Raya out,
board off the rafter, off the beer man, and then in or something. But yeah, top 90 on that one.
And that was, to be honest, that's one of the things that I took away. I was like, wow, you know what? Raya's a little off today, but it's not mattering because the rest of the team is.
No,
I think that's the thing right now that's happening. Someone can be a little off, but you have enough people coming together. Well, I mean, and you still don't have Odegaard out there. You still don't have I mean, it's.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was Raya so much being off. I think he always plays, I don't say sweep or keeper, but plays a good bit out of his box. I think he just got caught.
They got excited by that second goal.
Yeah.
And felt like, well, I guess actually, to be honest, there were 3 goals at that point, and you could feel they're like, oh, more. And it's like they weirdly let off that defensive gas just a little bit, trying to push forward, and they just got too far out,
I mean, yeah, we're looking at the stats here. It's just one-way traffic, just all red down pretty much every category. I mean, Tottenham can take
offsides.
Yeah, offsides. They won the throw-in battle, which is always a big one.
I also got to love
the yellow card battle.
Love winning the North London derby and with not a single set piece goal.
That's true. Yeah,
all open play.
And I think that's a lot of what Arsenal did and what they brought to the game, and how they locked up the midfield more so and not allow Tottenham to get anywhere near kind of an injured back line and a new back line, if you will. But I thought Rice and Zubimendi did well there. I thought Trossard and Saka did well on the wings. Marino playing that kind of false nine did well, as well. And then obviously the guy that scored the hat trick. It was just way too much, and I think that was a large part invited by Tottenham. Tottenham said, "Come on at us."
Yeah,
with how they set up and how they played. And they were just getting overrun constantly.
I mean, I don't know. I think there's lots of problems coming for Tottenham.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a bit of a manager. You feel like there could be a real manager merry-go-round for a little bit. Not,
Well, you know what? Tottenham can take a little bit of solace because they have PSG tomorrow in the Champions League.
Yeah. I mean,
hey, congratulations. You just played Arsenal and got walloped the Northumberland Derby.
Yeah.
You're going to take on the holders of the Champions League in PSG. Oh, by the way, it's at PSG as well. So you go from the Emirates to whatever their stadium is. I can't remember. Then they have Fulham, Newcastle, Brentford. Boom, boom, boom. So both of the London ones against Fulham and Brentford at home, and then they have to travel up north on December 2nd to Newcastle.
it was a good morning. Whew, it was a good morning. For all of it though, I really did like Trossard's first goal. Was my favorite. It was awesome, the hat trick. Don't be wrong. Of course the hat trick was awesome, but I just love that Trossard I forget who it was, like a couple years they wanted to sign someone, couldn't get him, and they got Trossard instead. And then Trossard was kind of fighting to even be in the team, starting, I should say, lineup. And then injuries put him in, and he's been great. He's been really good.
Trossard, part of Phil and I's legendary argument at the top of Guinness Storehouse with our free pint of Guinness as we sat and looked over Dublin, and we're sitting there arguing about Trossard as we sit there and enjoy our free Guinness.
That's a privileged thing to have.
Oh, absolutely.
The good old free Guinness at the factory.
Free Guinness at
What
the factory.
was the argument?
On their like not rooftop bar, but they're like skyline bar.
The rotating one?
Yeah, the one that's all the way up top there, yeah.
What was the argument? Like, because it was about Arsenal didn't get someone that went somewhere else, and they got Trossard instead. And it felt like
it was about Trossard, because at the time it was at Brighton. It was we went in January, so it was during the January transfer window. At the time, he had not pulled a like an Isaac and didn't show up to training, or maybe he did. I don't remember fully, but he kind of got into a spat with
Mudryk. They were going
wanted out.
They were going for Mudryk.
Yeah, it was who they were going to get. Yeah,
they couldn't. They were going after Mudryk, and it didn't happen. So then they got Trossard.
How Arsenal got him for so cheap because Brighton kind of just wanted him out because he was kind of just being a pest in the locker room and stuff. So it was, you're going to get somebody that's going to be this way. Is Arteta going to be able to tame him? And it was that whole argument that we just kept going around and around on, and enjoyed our Guinness, which was very good.
It's just nice.
Mudryk is still on suspension after getting his
another neck
appeal.
tattoo guy.
After getting his appeal denied.
Yeah. Until I just read that write up, going, "Oh right, Mudryk." Ron, I honest to God forgot he was on Chelsea's team.
No,
he's not on the. Well, it might be on the books, but I thought he was on loan somewhere.
No, he's not allowed to play.
Yeah, but he's still on their books, right?
Yes.
He's still on Chelsea's book.
Yeah, he's still at Chelsea. But I completely that was it was like 90 million signing, right, or whatever.
Oh yeah, it was
from Shakhtar Donetsk.
Yeah,
right?
Yep.
It was the record transfer fee
at the time
it happened,
or the British record transfer. It was something like that.
Yeah, at the time, until it was shattered.
Like
season.
12 times after that.
Yeah.
It's at least 12 times.
But the interesting thing is Chelsea's keeping him on the books when they have every right to bounce him for the doping scandal.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a nice tax break or something for them that allows them to
talk about a bullet dodged.
If you bounce him, then you can claim a loss, and it's better for your PSR.
Maybe. I don't know.
Hey, that could still sit in their back pocket. But London's red.
Team.
London's red. It was a good day.
Again.
But it was a good day. It was a good day. I enjoyed that. Time in this quiet house, just sitting there quietly. And I was still nervous. It was like Charleston scored that goal, and I went, man, Michael Oliver's there. We didn't talk about that. It was a North London derby.
Because you want to know why?
It was great.
It was a non-factor.
He refereed it well.
Non-factor.
Yeah. there were some things he could have called early on that he kind of let play that I feel like in the past he would have called. But he was great. When I saw that, I went, oh God. Oh, Liverpool lost. Oh, Man City lost. We have Michael Oliver. It's a North London derby. Something terrible is going to happen. Be 2 red cards and like all of a sudden Granit Xhaka comes out in an Arsenal kit for no reason. He gets another red card. I didn't know what was going to happen, but
where did Pierre Aubameyang come from? What the hell?
It's like a wrestling match. Dun dun dun.
And next into the ring. Yeah. They just all come flying from the cage starts to come down from the top of the
dressing room.
Oh my God. It was a good day. You know who was not a good day for in red? Good old.
That was on Monday,
Liverpool.
but we'll get there.
Yeah. Heavy Liverpool as they lose to bottom dwellers. They were in the relegation zone, Nottingham, as they lose 0-3. Liverpool lose once again by a 3-0 scoreline, but this time it was at Anfield at the brain of Sean Dyche and the feet of his Nottingham Forest players. First time since the 60s since Liverpool have lost consecutive matches by a 3-goal difference, and their first home 3-0 scoreline loss since August of 2015. Sure, Liverpool had 74% of the possession with 21 total shots and expected XG of 1.93. But it was ultimately the one less big chance and, oh, by the way, the 3 goals to none that Nottingham Forest put up in the end, which lead to Liverpool now losing half of their games in the league. So we ask, is Slot to blame for this crazy bad form from Liverpool? Is the question really, did he win with Klopp's team? And now that he's got his hands on it a bit more, is that?
Yes, it was a vastly unchanged team from last from when Klopp left to when Slot took over. I think much like the stats say, with a 74% possession, you probably lay 74% of it down on Slot. That may be a little bit harsh, but when you get this is what Man United's going. When you get infused 500 million, and not that Man United have spent that in one window, but they spent that in like 2 windows or whatever. It just throws a team off in a way. Allison back in goal. Did you even notice him back in goal?
No,
because I really didn't. Sloboshy playing right back. At what world do you think that's a good idea? Because I don't. He's a better number 8 than he is anything. I mean, hell, he's a better number a 10 if you want. Why not put an Andy Robertson at that right back? He play right back or left back, and he came in a little bit later. Move Slobosy up, not start Curtis Jones. Have Gravenberch and McAllister sit behind Slobosy. That way, he pushes forward. He has number 10. Can spray balls out to Gakpo, Salah, and even Isaac. Oh, by the way, he started. Did you know that he even played? Because I didn't. The lowest rated player from both teams, 5.5. That's how bad he was. 5.5 billion or whatever he just got paid, and he was the lowest rated in this game against a team that has been in the bottom 3 the entire time. Wild. I do think it's partly on Slot. Going back to the original point, I think a large part of it is because you have the talent there. Do you have the right system? Does Salah want to play any sort of defense?
Is Isaac going to go down as the biggest bust?
Right back the entire season. All these questions that you're like, what the hell are they doing almost?
I feel like Isaac's going to go down as one of the biggest busts ever.
He might do. Still a long season, but yeah, he might do.
I mean, Wirtz is, I know, right behind, but Isaac will get, just since he was cost a bit more.
Well, and that's a name I didn't even say because he didn't even start.
Yeah. Wirtz is... It's interesting. I don't understand the...
I think he was hurt real quick. Sorry. I think he was hurt in his international game. But anyways.
I don't understand the the punditry has such a forgiveness for Wirtz coming into the league.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, well, he's got to move into English life and he's got a translator and he's got this and it's not easy.
Game in there.
Dozens upon dozens of soccer players move around every transfer window. And if they're not producing, no one says, well, they haven't figured out where to go grocery shopping yet.
I know.
Why is everyone like so relaxed about Wirtz not working out? But if it were any other team in any other league and any other player, the punditry would be all over him.
Yeah.
Like,
oh God,
he sucks. Get him out. Why is he?
3 matches in, they were all over Gyökeres not scoring a million goals.
Well, I think too to both of those points, Wirtz is associated with Slot. It was Slot's first big signing that he had. So okay, well we can't go too bad on Slot because it's only his second year, and oh my gosh, he won it the first year, so he gets a bit of a pass. So therefore, I think Wirtz gets a pass. They're somehow joined at the hip when it comes to that because he was their first big signing that they had. That they had. And I think that's partly to do with it. I think Wirtz is a good player, and he basically filled a role that needed to be filled for them, and has looked solid in games, but hasn't produced on the score sheet. And unfortunately, that's all that's what matters.
That's what he's hired for.
Looking for that's what he's getting paid for, right? But I think it still goes back to him being that first one on Slot, and it's only Slot's second year, so he still has to figure out the team. I think they're just joined at the hip in a way.
His odds of getting sacked definitely went up. Now we're at Arne Slot at 5-1, Marco Silva 6-1, Thomas Frank is still sitting at 10-1, but that might be higher now or lower. I mean,
at least has a year. Yeah, he at least has a year.
But Liverpool just I don't know what the stat is for the biggest drop for like a well-playing champion team.
They were saying on the broadcast, it was like they haven't started this bad since I think Leicester when they won it their year, and Chelsea in the either late teens or early 2000s. Those when Mourinho got sacked that year.
Yeah.
So I think those are the 2 last times our teams have started off this bad following a Premier League title.
They have a -2 goal difference. They've lost 4 of their last 5.
And can you believe you got Salah
out of 12?
Salah had the golden boot last year. They have a -2 goal differential.
And I don't know if Salah even has a handful yet for what he is on the season.
Oh,
he has 4 goals and 2 assists. Started all 12 games, 12 matches.
Nowhere near on pace from last year.
No.
They just all look confused, and there's a couple of injuries that they're nursing too.
But they got the.
But man, let's flip the coin. Dyche at Forest.
Yeah, Dyche ball. Dyche.
Right? So nice to come in and watch him ruin people's plans.
Nothing says let's get a goal against Liverpool at Anfield like a center back goal from a Dyche team. A center back and a right back goal from a Dyche team to end the half. Oh, so and you know what? Dyche has been good since he's come in. He has given them that kind of new bump. They beat Leeds last week 3-1. They drew in the Europa League, drew against Man United before that. They lost to Bournemouth. I think a second match that they were in, but then beat Porto in the Europa League. So has only lost 1 game since he's been in charge. So yeah, he's done well. Has Malmo, Brighton, Wolves, Everton is his next kind of 4 games. Not a bad run at all. A bad run at all for him. So he can they can, I think he's going to kind of turn them around a little bit, and they are out of the relegation zone, still on a -7 goal difference, so they got a long way to go on that. But up in 16th, 12 points on the year out of 12 games, so essentially a point a match.
And not for nothing, but the ones below them, West Ham, Leeds, Burnley, and obviously Wolves, they do not like teams that could turn around. I mean, West Ham, if they survive, I figure they survive exactly where they are right now. Just out of.
Yeah. The table could end exactly as it is right now, at least for the bottom.
Oh, bottom 6 or so.
5, 6 teams, yeah.
Yeah, I could easily see that. I don't think Newcastle stay in 14th, but I could easily see that for 15 on down. Yeah, wow. I mean, on one hand, I almost kind of hate it because I feel like Nottingham handled themselves, their owners, so poorly. I almost hate to see them get rewarded for it. Not the players and the fans, but we
all love Dyche.
But I know, yes, and we like Sean Dyche. I just, but then the Sean Dyche thing is also this. He keeps them out of relegation, and then they get relegated next year. I mean, that happens a lot.
Or he survives them that year and then gets sacked the following year when they're going down.
Yeah.
So,
well, you just hope that every day when the owner wakes up, he just continuously stubs the same toe because he's such a prick.
Every day. Yep.
Amen to that. Shall that move us on to our 2-minute drill as we ask a question or make a smart-ass comment on the remaining matches of the Premier League?
Why not? Ron, take us away.
Chelsea get the job done in the early match of the weekend to kick it off as they win 2-0 against Burnley on the road at the Turf Moor. With a tough weekend ahead, kind of... What does that say?
LOL, you all beat Barcelona, so it's no longer really a tough week. Screw that little team out in there in Spain. And you got Arsenal coming up on the weekend.
I know. That's going to be that's going to be
a doozy.
A tough one. Solid win for the Blues.
Up to second in the table, eh?
Yeah.
I don't think that's something you would have picked for 12 or 13 weeks in where we're at 12. Yeah.
No, I figured, the 7 through 4 area.
We had it on tape. Ron was not positive on the season at all for Chelsea. Ferris, you and I both were more so, weren't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because we felt like they were starting.
Correctly. Yeah.
Well, we have certainly not been as strong as we would have liked, right? We have a couple of specific injuries that we're still kind of nursing. We still have disciplinary problems because, I mean, hell, we continue to get yellow cards and red cards like
but you keep winning. Who cares?
Being given away free, but that's all going to catch up.
Yeah.
That's all going to catch up.
Blake. Yeah. Well, actually, we all had Chelsea in our top 4. We all had them at third, I think.
Looks like it.
We had a confident third. Ron had I'm hoping third.
I had him at fourth.
Fourth. You did. You had him at fourth. So we technically had him higher there.
You had him in fourth too.
Who's counting? Okay,
who's the keeper? Who's the keeper of the tome? the beautiful game grimoire.
So Blake had more positive than anybody.
And the other thing that it has still been a bit of tough for us is that everybody is so tired when it catches up with us and we lose a couple of games here and there. We look so leggy and so tired when we are tired, right? And it's just, we had no preseason. We played PSG late in the summer, took 2 weeks off when everyone else was starting their preseason. So you can understand why it's like, but I will say, no matter how much you don't like Maresca, or maybe his tactics, he's pretty polarizing. He's rotating the squad quite well.
It doesn't matter what anyone says about Maresca. You're sitting in second above teams that won the league last year. So,
yeah,
And
but
you essentially have 5 squads that you can throw
gentlemen,
out there. But
you lose 3 in a row, and Maresca is still scum.
not in this league, baby. They're keeping
What are you
managers
talking
lose.
about?
They're keeping managers losing 3 in a row, left and right around this place.
And it was good to see Delap finally kind of get on the board there.
Yep. He
Before you
had been nursing a bit of an injury. He had also kind of gone quiet for a couple.
Speaking of stubbing your toe and hoping people do it, Cole Palmer, isn't he out now from an injury that's sustained at home or something where he stubbed something or cut something or
He exacerbated
broken toe.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about stubbing toes.
Yeah, but Cole so far so this is the thing, right? Cole Palmer comes back and you're like, you throw off the equilibrium of the team because they've had to play such tough games without him, right? And the chemistry is going to be all weird. So, like, when he's healthy, do you automatically start him?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
You dropped a lap, you put him in, move Joao Pedro up front, either start Gittins or Garnacho off to the left. I think you're fine.
I don't know. I'm always so nervous about that.
I know how you feel. So that moves us over to the next match. Our beloved Cherries. The lot of us tend to quite like the Cherries and their story from when they first got back to the league a few seasons ago. And they come from behind on a big draw against West Ham, all folks. Vitality Stadium, West Ham looking like they were going to win this thing with one of the Cherries' former star strikers, Callum Wilson, snagging a brace. A big comeback for Bournemouth, who needed to keep pace in the fight for those coveted European places. That's a big. I thought it was going to be a massive loss, and instead that was a huge draw as they still sit now in 8th with 19 points in 12 matches and a -1 goal differential. You know what? Bournemouth would gladly have taken sitting in 8th, 5 spots above Liverpool. God.
Right. Dude, you know why I hate XG?
The stats.
They scored
bull.
Yes. They scored 2 goals in this match, right? They had an expected goals, so XG of 4.05. No, they had expected goals of 2.
Right.
What?
It's so dumb.
And started the match, it was only like 0.30.
Yeah.
So this whole
doesn't it not take away goals or take away XG if the other team scores goals? Or, I don't know. Stupid ass stat.
We had a pod where we explained the whole thing.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense still.
And it was still
and we still don't. It's like the pods we try to explain as Cam Tam and Cam Jam from MLS. So it doesn't matter. West Ham had they ended this match all with 24% possession.
Yeah.
And they almost won.
And they scored 2 goals as well, but yet their expected goals was not 0.65.
0.65. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes entirely amount of sense. I'm glad we keep scoring like the old fashioned way and not off of what the expected XG was.
But huge one by Bournemouth. I think that was my Leicester's prediction that they go to a European tournament.
I think so. I just had
it's still certainly in it. God, it's just, I mean, guys, look at this thing. Forget about Arsenal, Chelsea, and Man City. 4 is Aston Villa, 5 is Palace, 6 is Brighton Hove, 7 is Sunderland, 8 is Bournemouth, 9 Tottenham, 10 Manchester United, 11 Everton, 12 Liverpool. Mass hysteria, cats and dogs living together. It's crazy. That is a crazy, crazy table to look at right now. God, that's wild.
Why it's the best league in the world.
Amen.
Well, there's another team that mounted their own comeback, and that was Brighton. As they come from behind by 1 goal to get the win over the visiting Brentford Bees. And don't look now. And Blake, as you just said, Brighton are in qualifying positions, if you will, sitting in 6th place in the league.
Just bonkers.
Like quietly got up there too.
Yeah.
Just like,
because
how did they get up there all of a sudden? What?
Yeah, they didn't have that great of a beginning of the season.
No, but they've won 3 of their last 5. Only lost 1. Welbeck, we talked about him on a few pods ago. Just having one of the seasons of his life at the ripe age of 34.
He's 3rd in the Golden Boot race right now.
Something like that. 7 goals out of 9 started games so far. So, and his birthday's tomorrow.
Nice.
He's gonna be 36 years old tomorrow.
I thought you said 34, so he's 35 turning 36.
I don't know what time. It says at 35. He was born in 1990.
So
he'll be 35 tomorrow.
So 35.
They did it early from our time.
What?
His birthday was November 26th. We're doing the pod on November 25th.
Oh, fair enough.
11:42, and it already says it's 35. They already turned the clock over. I mean, whatever. Anyways, having a great year. Good for them. Brentford, it's kind of there, but a solid team. So good one all in all.
A single Raul Jimenez goal in the 84th minute for Fulham dump Sunderland to 7th. Warmp, warmp. So how much could losing all 3 of the points in this match hurt Sunderland in their race for the Europe, gentlemen?
Not saying it doesn't make it harder, but when the race right now, again, 4th through 8th being Villa, Palace, Brighton, Sunderland, and Bournemouth, there's plenty of time for any of those scrappy teams to still try and
Yeah, and I think this is a big point. Points lost because it wasn't until a very late stage of the game where you're looking like you might get a point out of it, and you get nothing out of it. And I think it's a big point not only for what everybody else did in the league this week, but their next run of games is not easy as well. They host Bournemouth, go away. Well, this might be easy. Go away to Liverpool.
Easily winnable. They got it.
Yes. Go away to Man City. And then Tyne Derby is back, gentlemen, as they host Newcastle to the Stadium of Light on December 14th.
I think this is I agree. I think this
that's
is
a tough run.
A larger hit to Sunderland, specifically because they're on a bit of a town turn. 2 draws and a loss in their last 5. And they seem to be, kind of slowing their pace as the season is going on. Right. And, I mean that physically in matches, slowing their pace. The past couple of games, they haven't been as ruthless. They haven't, been manic pressing like they had been. They're a little disjointed. And so
people figuring them out, that kind of thing too.
Yeah,
sure.
I think that too, but also not only the next run of games that they have, we have this little thing called the African Cup of Nations, and they lose about half their squad. They're going to take the biggest hit on this. They have, let me run down. They have a player from Cameroon. They have a player from Mozambique, from DR Congo, Senegal, Congo, Morocco, Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, Nigeria. A lot of these are starters for him, at least on the bench coming off. And that starts, I want to say, in December. So think in the grand scheme of things, this was a pretty big point loss here. I get it was on the road, but next run of games that come out of that, they come out of that 4-run game stretch there, and they lose pretty much all of those players to the African Cup of Nations. So all in all, I think a big loss here from them.
Palace score twice in 6 minutes as they get comfortable win in the end against a hungry Wolves team with the now handsome Rob Edwards managing the dumpster fire that is Wolverhampton. I know this could be a stretch and a half, but can old handsome Rob keep the Wolves in the top flight? No. Shall I play the air horn?
Just more like to write that sentence. That's all. I don't. This is going to be a monumental task. On 2 points after 12 games, they're 8 points off of Burnley in 19th, and 9 points off of Leeds in 18th, and that's just to get to 18th.
Negative 20 goal differential. What's the next highest? The negative 10? Is that it? Negative 11.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Negative 11. Yeah.
Man, just brutal.
Well, I don't know if they looked okay, but they were hanging on. They had a better expected goals, if that means anything, which we just discussed. It doesn't.
It does not.
No, it doesn't.
So,
and Palace has been good. I mean, Palace has definitely been struggling with some consistency here and there, but Palace is doing well. How many?
I just don't know why he accepted the job.
Palace has only lost twice. They've won 5, drawn 5. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't either.
He's probably going to go down into the championship where he was just managing, if I'm not mistaken. And his old club, was Middlesbrough in the championship, and they currently sit third, tied on points with the automatic promotion places. So it makes you wonder. Odds are you're probably going to come up and be in the Premier League very, very soon, this time next year, or at least have a very good chance of being. And now you're going with a team that have a very good chance of going down back to where you just came from. Like, I don't know why. Interesting as to why he took the job.
Yeah, like I don't know. Well, I mean,
I thought I read that his family's in that area or whatnot. So, we forget a lot of those things play into it as well. It's still a Premier League job, still a big club, yada, 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 all of these things. But still, in the grand scheme of things, who knows if it will end up being, a good career move at the very least for him.
Resume builder.
Harvey frickin' Barnes becomes the latest hero on Tyneside as Newcastle United get a surprise large win over surging Manchester City following the international break. That has to hurt for City and the manager. Man, they lose ground on the other title challengers. Arsenal. I'll leave Chelsea out of that. I don't think we're really.
But you are.
You are. You're in the race now, man.
You see Guardiola take that second goal out on the poor chair in the stadium.
Did you see him snatch the cameraman who was wearing the FC Dallas hat?
Yeah. Didn't he come out like the next day and say, "Hey, sorry"?
Yes, he did.
I apologize. And every time I see the clip, I just kind of cringe at myself for it. So you got to give him a little bit of credit for that. But yeah.
But man, he took that goal out on that chair. Like that chair owed him money.
Good for him. Who hasn't done those type of things and that the amount of Xbox controllers that I've broke over the years, and I broke blinds because an Xbox controller went through blinds.
Well, our listeners
take it out of the chair. Good for you.
Well, our listeners get a Bobby Knight reference. I mean,
yeah, right.
It is weird because you kind of see Pep calm. You think, I mean, he's a passionate guy, but it's interesting to see some of this happening. I wonder. I wonder how much longer he stays.
Cool like that.
With what? Say that again. Sorry.
I said I don't remember him losing his cool like that.
No.
Very often at all. Right? Like Man City were surging through this game. The first goal they gave up was rather pedestrian, I think. Just kind of switched off at the wrong time. And poof. It's in the back of the net. And then when did they give up the second one? Like the 70th minute, like 7 minutes later, with another like Harvey Barnes cleanup goal, if you will. I don't know how else to kind of describe that.
No, and listen, Barnes was good for them, and he's needed to be because he hasn't really been lately, but was a threat. The defense was good, was well. Talk about coming out of an international break and just not looking like they got off the plane, or not looking like they returned back, because they just looked legged, tired. The Jeremy Doku that lit things on fire the right before the international break was best, went back to being what he's done largely for them. A bit of a threat, pacey, getting behind, but doesn't really produce anything in the final third.
He was on the turf a lot, waving his hands in this match.
Yeah.
But like
interesting.
But Newcastle too, that like thing we've said now, what are we, 4th year? Man, just their consistency. I mean, the last Premier League game, they lost 3-1 to Brentford.
Mm-hmm.
Their consistency still an issue. Although I saw an Eddie Howe conversation like right after the match, and I thought, man, he looks different now. The way he was carrying himself and talking, and you think back to those days when Bournemouth had been promoted, and he was such a young manager, 34 or whatever he was. Like he was a young manager, and I don't know how much longer he's going to be at Newcastle, but I don't mean that in a negative way. I think someone might snatch him.
Maybe. I just don't know who. The England job is filled now. That he was linked a lot with that.
Hey, baby, we haven't gotten to the
Wolves was just available. He could have gone there.
Hey, we got 2 more to talk about till we get to your club. So I mean, there could be stuff.
Oh,
available.
Don't you worry. I'm going to reprise something I said last January. So just you wait.
Can't wait. Well, I'll get us along to that. So our buddy Matt's Aston Villa performs a comeback of their own as they and Morgan Rogers come out of the half firing. A brace from him for a 2-1 win to the Claret and Blue. What a turnaround for Unai Emery and his squad as they end the weekend. They find themselves all the way up to top 4 and 4th and only 1 point behind Man City.
Wow. I did not know they were that high up until I actually wrote that and was looking at the table. I was like, oh my gosh.
Just sneaking.
I realized they were up to 4th.
Another quiet creeper.
Yeah. Just sneaking right up there. What does the top 6 big 6 teams even mean anymore right now? Like,
right? And Villa weren't great. I mean, they won the second half, but Leeds was the better of the team in the first half, and they came out and just Rodgers was like a man on a mission, and just kept going, just went after it. Balls. There was a substitution that they made at half, if I'm not mistaken, 2. Donnie Malin and Maatsen, and Donnie Malin changed the game a bit. His pace, getting him behind. I think he really did some damage in there. I think he went in for Buendia, if I'm not mistaken, and really I think changed that game a bit to help to get Rodgers more central and on the ball in front of net in the opposition box there. But Emery just quietly moving on up, 4 wins in the last 5, and solid wins too. Remember, it was that 1-0 over Man City, the 2-1 over Tottenham. Last one was 4-0 over Bournemouth before the break. So some good wins there. They pretty much beat all the teams that they're up there and with. So that is the mark of usually a good team when they do that.
I mean, that Unai Emery is definitely a guy that as the season, it won't be in the middle of the season, but when the season ends, some clubs like I could see really go after him, especially some of these larger clubs that are struggling with current managers. Like I could easily see him being a target. All right, Ferris. 2-minute drill. We'll see how this goes.
And finally, despite two teammates getting in a fight and one of them slapping their way into a red card in the 13th minute of play.
The most
That was Everton, by the way.
Most Everton thing ever, man.
A hopeless Manchester United can't break through and lose 1-0 at home at Old Trafford, despite being up a man for over 75 minutes when it was 0-0 at the time. And I wrote this, but then I forgot. You know what? In January of last year, I wrote a little something different. So, hey, if any of you are looking for any last-minute words of encouragement from me, I have one. I'd like my Manchester United to right the ship right now. I want them brought from their unhappy, horrible slump of 10-plus years over there on Sir Matt Bubsy Way with all the other wrong people. And I want them brought right now with a big transfer in the works. And I want to look the club straight in the eye. I want to tell them what a overspending, manager-changing, no-good, rotten, 3-4-3, flushing, low in the treble, sucking, bottom-feeding, in 13th, overpaid, ignorant, football-sucking, FFP-kissing, scoreless, pointless, hopeless, heartless ass, wide-eyed, no-legged, spotty-playing, no-heading sack of monkey they are. Hallelujah! Where's my beer?
Oh, classic. I love it every year. May we get to hear that every year, Ron.
Right?
And every time my face fucking turns red and I just get to, oh, just hit the damn buzzer. Let's move on. I do need another beer.
Oh, no. Wait.
Oh, come on.
No, wait. Whoa. Hold on. Wait. Like, Ron and I did not, we don't finally have Ron back in the studio to blow past this one.
So I am not shocked that Manchester United couldn't find their way to the other goal with a compass and a GPS. I'm not shocked about that. The shocking takeaway I have from this match is how many people in social media think that because it was teammate on teammate violence, he shouldn't have been given a red card.
Oh, yeah.
And sent off.
It doesn't work that way.
I didn't know what it was given at first. I was like, what the hell happened? I thought he maybe hit Brian and Emma when he walked by or something like that. But then you look, you're like, oh, he put hands to another player's face, regardless if the player's on your own team. That's an automatic sending. And in fairness, the ref was looking right at it and didn't even hesitate. It was 100% correct.
It's incredible how many, because I didn't see it. I only, I think I don't know. I was checking on it later that day or in the evening. And as I was flipping through social media, it was like all this outrage about him being sent off. And the rules are really clear.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be opposing teams or to the ref or to other. It's any player conducting violent behavior toward any other player. See ya.
Yeah, and hands of the face, as we know, automatic sending off.
And so
Just
straight
incredible.
red, three games?
Yes, because violent conduct.
Yes, and he was incensed too. Like Jordan
He was,
Pickford had to step, and
yeah.
he was like absolutely just incensed in like what, like they didn't get along, and it all came from like he tried to play this stupid kind of pass inside out, and I think Keane had words with him, but he really just objected it. And the camera just kind of cut away until you start seeing the ref show the red card, and you're like, what the heck just occurred? Like the coverage of it even wasn't even sure
They
that
didn't even know
what happened until you're seeing Jordan Pickford like hug him and try to push him away.
So allegedly there's racial abuse in there, which is being investigated.
For what Keane had said to him?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I did not see or hear that yet.
So allegedly there was some racial abuse that Ghana didn't take well to, that, caused the whole thing to happen. And then, it all went south from there. That's still not an excuse, I get.
Yeah, but
right?
it would make a bit more sense, and if that's why he was so enraged, if you will, if that was done to him. But it was just interesting to see and watch live, because it's only happened. I think the Athletic had an article only happened like 3 times in the course of the Premier League, in terms of like just like bust ups on the field like that. Just very interesting. And I watched the game and I wasn't as frustrated at the time. I'm like, United they pushed, they wave after wave, and they just couldn't do it. Pickford had a few good saves there. The Everton goal kind of came from a counter that kind of slowed, but a good goal there. Should let Emmons have the save? Possibly, but it was well hit, and I don't know. It's frustrating because you build a momentum. You haven't lost in 5. You're at home. You're playing a man up for 17 minutes, and not only do you don't get out of it with just a 0-0, and they defended well, but you give up a goal 10 minutes after that, and then just can't seem to find the net. And they were another team, like maybe it was just with the Manchester clubs. They just got off the plane on international break and just didn't know what they were doing or how they were playing. It's just kind of weird, but whatever.
Do I end it now?
Yeah.
That was flipping brilliant. All right, let's play this.
Former Chelsea player Drewsbury Hall that had a banger for Everton.
I think a former Leicester. Was he coming from Leicester City before that?
Yeah.
Oops.
That's fair.
That's fair. I went to go play the halftime whistle, but I guess that still worked anyway. Let us get to that Ron beer news. All the news that's fit to drink on Ron's beer news. Over to you, Ron.
This will be a quick one since we are a little over on the old time. Gentlemen, it is time to pour one out for yet another sad beer closing. Rogue Ales.
That's
no kidding.
Oh, you didn't know this, Ferris? Oh,
no. Kidding.
Overnight, not even overnight, instantly, crazy.
Really?
Yeah, declares bankruptcy. They close all their Oregon locations, and then hit the eject button.
People work at the restaurant were like, "What?" Like it just done. Said tonight will be it.
Yep. Rogue reportedly owes more than $500,000 in back rent to the Port of Newport and more than $30,000 in taxes to the county in which they reside. A meeting of its creditors is set for December 29th. The bankruptcy filing shows that the company owes more than $16.7 million in total. Wow. The beer bubble has popped, as you know, if you don't know by now. The younger generations are opting out of beer drinking. If you look at all the stats from the Brewers Association, it's quite a dire scene if you're out there trying to run a brewery, let alone trying to own one or trying to open one. So Rogue Ales, Rogue River Brewing, you were awesome.
Yep.
You had some phenomenal beers.
Yeah.
And you will be missed. But I have to ask the question. How long do you have to hang on to owe $16.7 million?
Jeez, I don't know.
That's not like a 2-month operation and you're in $16 million.
That's just loan after loan after loan?
Like,
keep afloat or something?
that has to, we'll find out as the forensics of this financially come out, but this sounds like poor decision after poor decision trying to keep it afloat. And then emotionally making decisions as opposed to stepping back and looking at the, solidity of the business and the business model. And
yeah,
right.
Because you could get them in stores. You could get, they were pretty, in your local grocery store and stuff. So I don't know if maybe that played into it at all, where they just kind of overstretched it for that long of time to take out. I mean, I don't know, but it's sad. It's another well-known big name brewery closing down, and that is, as you said, that brewery beer bubble, boom of essentially when we started the pod. When you think about it, it's kind of when it was really starting to take off, if you will, and how maybe the pandemic played a large part of that and kind of hurt a lot of these breweries, and they just haven't been able to fully recover coming out of that. If they were on any sort of last leg going into it, then.
But that's a lot. That's a lot of debt.
Mm-hmm.
It's a $16.7 million. That's not a we made one bad decision.
No, not
or
usually.
Stayed open 1 or 2 months extra.
Yeah, not
right?
usually.
Like
That's
oof.
not. Oops. Oh, how'd that get there?
No, that's a oops, I did it again.
And again,
Britney
and again,
Spears.
and
Yeah,
again.
Yeah.
did not know we were going to have a Britney Spears reference.
Gotta love it. Gentlemen, so the last time we had an interesting chat about a weird new style of beer. It led to the Great Ice Challenge.
Oh God, what's coming?
So here's the next interesting thing.
Mm-hmm.
A San Francisco startup is putting a new spin on the shower beer.
Okay.
Serving up
Follow you.
cold ones from recycled shower and laundry water. Epic Clean Tech.
Now look, I know. I watch Star Trek. You can recycle the water and it's safe. But it's
First osmosis or something.
you
Right?
just shouldn't say it that way. I don't want to think about it when I'm drinking it. That's the
Water
problem.
you shower on, you're going to be drinking. The water that comes out of the shower, hits your body down the drain. We're going to recycle that, and you're going to drink it, right?
You already do.
I know that's what I'm saying. I don't want to think about it though.
Right. But you say it out loud.
All the
it's
water
like,
you get out of your tap
yeah,
that you run through the Brita filter,
the filter, yeah,
that's all former toilet water and shower water and laundry water.
sure.
But I don't
at
want to
the
be
same
thinking
point,
about
when I go and I get a steak. I don't want to find out how exactly that steak got to my plate.
the Reinske boot does not say beer, yeast, and the water that rolled down Big Uncle Frank's ass crack. That is not the ingredient.
If you could say that in German, that would be. It probably sounds so good in German.
So, gentlemen, Epic Clean Tech, a clean water tech firm specializing in on-site wastewater purification.
Okay, pause that. Never mind. I retract my statement. It's brilliant because it's not a brewery doing it. It is a clean tech company brewing a beer with it. That is brilliant advertising. That's good. That's smooth.
They have launched 2 brews crafted from recycled gray water.
Oh,
same-
God.
Oh, you gotta say gray one.
That's what-
Dude.
Oh,
Oh, God.
Double down on that.
Oh.
The lineup includes Shower Hour IPA,
Love that. Love that.
a crisp, juicy take on a classic IPA, and the other beer is called Laundry Club Kolsch.
Guys, like it wasn't that long ago I was living in Florida and you'd walk by those places that they'd start spraying the grass with gray water and it just smelt to high heaven. And you're just like, oh man, I can't.
Yep.
If you called it like gray water ale, I would Ralph. If you opened that by me. Oh.
What was the laundry something Coles? What was it? Laundry time?
Laundry Club Kolsch.
Shower IPA. I love the idea.
I do too. The more I'm thinking about it, yeah.
I love the idea. It's that it's called Shower Hour, so I can't even disassociate from it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Both of these beers are brewed with water captured from residential buildings and purified until, as the company claims, it's better than the tap water in most cities in America.
What?
Well, are we talking about Michigan, where we have?
What about Flint, Michigan? I'm gonna have a problem with. What would some other names of their beers be? Like Wash Your Nuts Porter? like what?
You
Beer and a
definitely
shave.
don't want it to be.
Beer
You
and a-
definitely don't want it to be a brown ale.
Yeah.
No, beer and a shave cut, 2 pints. Oh my God. Oh man.
like pop the ice out of the tray light. Like what I don't.
double IPA, double deuce water. Like, I don't know where we like double deuce IPA.
The flush twice triple.
Yeah. Courtesy flush Kolsch.
Oh, I love that one. Yes, Blake. That may be the leader in the clubhouse right there.
Oh.
Gonna keep us updated on this one. This is a good one. We have to get one of these beers on the pod.
I know it.
Yeah, I would do that. It still skeeved
Heck yeah,
me out. It'll probably taste
It's
great.
worse than the crap we've had on here.
Yeah, it's no, there's nothing. My brain knows. That is how we get our drinking water. I just don't like to think about it. I don't want to think about it.
Right. It's like you go to a restaurant. You want to figure out how that piece of chicken or pork got to your plate.
Yeah, I love me a steak. I don't really want to dress a cow. That's okay.
Yeah.
Someone else can do that.
Perfectly fine.
250,000 cans are going to be done by the first half, or brewed by the first half of next year.
Hey, we keep showering that. I could double that up real quick.
I'm going to shower twice a week, whether I need it or not,
Yeah, right.
just to support our local brewery.
Why not?
The company, Clean Tech, has partnered with Devil's Canyon Brewing Company in San Carlos, California, and is ramping up thousands of cans for retail distribution. The beers are available online now and will soon hit shelves at Bevmo, which I've never heard of before, and Total Wine and Spirits.
Well, we've heard of them.
Heck yes.
We've got a few of those around
We're going to
town.
have these.
Yes, we are.
So, gentlemen, the next thing after our ice challenge is now going to be
Shower beers.
the Gray Water Challenge.
The Gray Water Challenge.
And that is all the beer news that's fit to drink.
Oh, the Gray Water Challenge. Oh, my stomach feels like what I felt Ron's face looked like that hungover day when we were drinking the pork slap.
In that smooth segue, we're gonna have our second beer. I'm pretty sure not brewed in that same way, but from Toll Road Brewing down the street, and to bring in the festive period, sweater weather. It is a cranberry orange cream ale, 5.5%, 18 on the old IBUs, and canned just today.
That sounds good.
Yeah, and give this a go. They do cream ales very well there. They have the Mike's cream ale. Look at that color.
Pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I did not get a second beer,
Look at that pour.
but that's pretty
Well
good.
done.
I got to get
Good
a bird.
retention.
Oh yeah. Ron, you might have to snap a photo of that real quick
Yeah.
right here, and I'll get a sense since we got to hurry along. But I'll let you know how that beer tastes in just a second. We'll go into the LeagueA's roundup.
Oh,
The LeagueA's roundup.
there we go.
All right. NWSL. We'll start off first here in the States on Saturday 9th. 8-seeded Gotham FC claimed their second NWSL championship in 3 years as they defeated back-to-back finalists of the Washington Spirit. It was a 1-0 win on the night, courtesy of a lone Rose Lavelle goal. Not too happy with her at the moment, but we'll get into that here in a second. On the 80th minute of play at PayPal Park in San Jose, California. If you didn't know, the Spirit got to the finals via a 2-0 win over the Portland Thorns, and Gotham got there via a stoppage time goal against our Orlando Pride, which were last season's champs. Yeah, Gotham, whatever. All in all, what did you guys make of the final, the season, and the impending off season, which is already making some buzz here?
I don't know I'm biased, but that Orlando Pride playoff situation really frustrated me. The extra time and everything else.
Yeah, and the reason I said something about Rose Lavelle is she's the one that kind of took a fall to the ground in very late stages of that game, 93rd minute or 94th minute, and pretty, a flop of sorts, and was called, and on that impending free kick, which was lovely taken by Jaden Shaw, they scored, and how the ref ended the game was off of a Berger trying to stall time for the umpteenth time, even so much where a few minutes later the ref ran over to Berger by the goal to tell her to come along, but she never carded her. And as she's down hurt trying to fake an injury to keep stalling time, she blows the game and just does not a good way to end. Great for them that they were 8th and they beat Kansas City and they got there and they got a late goal in this, but whatever. I don't know. Looking at the Spirit though, second time in back-to-back finals here. Third time in 3 or 4 years. They won it a few years ago. And the big question in the offseason here is, will they be able to hang on to Trinity Rodman? A lot of talks already with the league, and if the league's able to pay her and the Spirit are able to hang on to her for pay, and a lot of ins and outs with this, but she's already had discussions with the league themselves, not necessarily the club, but the leagues. She's had conversations with the league. Washington Spirit has had conversations with the league about trying to hang on to her. Because a lot of times on this pod, we've said how much the NWSL is losing their domestic stars. Your Emily Foxes, your Nightswangers, Duns, so on and so forth, have gone overseas to play, where they're being paid a bit more. They're playing for your PSGs, for your Arsenals, your Chelseas, so on and so forth. It's really, there's a lot of WSL teams looking at Trinity Rodman right now. I don't know if those teams have been announced yet. I don't know who they are. You can probably take a guess. The ones that can afford her,
Chelsea,
probably an Arsenal, a Chelsea, maybe looking at a Man United. It depends. It's will they be able to hang on to her? I think it's a lot of off-season stuff here. And you remember last season they changed their rules where basically the player has the final say on if they can go or not, and there's no more draft. So they get this trade and they have the final buy off if they want to go to Bay or Orlando or wherever they want to go. So interesting. At the same time, the league's expanding. Yeah. So I don't know if we've potted since it's been announced, but Atlanta is going to have a NWSL team.
That seems late in coming, right?
It does.
The town or city has really supported their MLS team, so I'm actually surprised that took so long.
And it's going to be support, or it's going to be backed by Arthur Blank, but they paid the largest entry fee into the league, like 120 some million to get in the league. Oh, this is fantastic. Sorry. The Sweater Weather Cranberry Orange Cream Ale by Toll Road. Fantastic. I just had to swear we got that. Good Lord.
Great name.
Yeah, absolutely. Damn good. Beautiful color too. Nice cranberry orange, if that makes sense. Anyways, so the league's expanding the offseason. Good for Gotham. I heard this on a podcast. Are they a dynasty? I don't think they're a dynasty yet. You got to win at least one or two more. If anything, Spirit are up there as an argument.
I was going to say Spirit.
But they've been over a longer period of time when you go back and look. But the league's growing. You get a chance, get to your nearest. There's what's coming next year? Is it Denver? Is it coming next year?
Yes.
So, Ali Watt for here and our pride. That was actually Blake's MVP pick this year. We'll get into that here in a second. But she's their first big signing. Kind of goes back home to that area. She had a heartfelt, as you do it nowadays, Instagram post saying thank you to Orlando and that sort of thing. But if you don't watch the NWSL, we've been saying it for a very long time. Absolutely follow, support, get into it. They'll be back again next year, but look into it on the off season. Follow the news; it's growing, and by means of that, there are plenty of American players playing overseas, whether it's in France with PSG and Lyon, or Arsenal, or Chelsea, or Man United. These teams are playing, and they're great. We're going to see here on Friday the U.S. Women's National Team taking on Italy here in Orlando. They just hit camp and hit ground here. So it's going to be fun to see them on Friday. I'll be in attendance at that one. But absolutely watch. And if you guys remember, we did our picks.
We did.
Their season. And would you guys like to know how we finished?
How do we do?
Do it.
All right. We'll start at the winner of the Shield. Blake had the Spirit. good guess. They did come in second, not quite, but Ron and I actually had the correct. Kansas City, winner of the Shield. They did win it. And if I'm not mistaken, they won it in record form, way early. When they won it, but they finished on 65 points for the season with a 49 goals for, only 13 against, so a plus 36 goal difference. And that leads to the MVP. Blake, you had Ali Watt, as I said earlier. I had Marta. Ron had Trinity Rodman, who was actually out the majority of the year due to injury, but it was actually Timwa Chawinga. Not only was she the MVP, but she was also the Golden Boot winner with 20 goals. That breaks Sam Kerr's of 18.
I got that one right.
In a row. Yes, you did, and you got that one right. And the Golden Boot, I had Ashley Hatch. She started off fantastically, and then Blake, you had Barbara Banda, who was doing okay. A lot of shots created. I think she led the league in shots, even though she was out for majority of the season, but was ruled out for about half the season. Then we have a team. Our next thing on our picks was team to make the playoffs this season that didn't last season. Both myself and Blake had Angel City, and they did not, unfortunately. Kristen Press did retire this season.
Yeah,
quite sad about that. Going to miss watching her play. Glad I got a chance to see her play this past season and got my kind of rare, it's hanging on the wall over there, Ron, if you can see it, but my very rare Kristen Press Manchester United jersey, and she's very well known for 23. Is it 24 jersey? Do you want to know why?
What was that?
Her LA roots with Kobe Bryant the year that he died is when she kind of went over there and played for United. But she graciously, when they were down here earlier in the season, signed it for me and kind of had a smile because I don't think she sees a whole lot of those kits. But Angel City just couldn't quite click all season and did not make it into the playoffs. But Seattle Reign, Ron's pick.
Boom.
You are like firing.
Boom. Crushed
you got 3 out of the 4. Yes, you did.
Yeah, man.
They made the playoffs and then lost to our Orlando Pride in the first round here. And I believe that they were 4th and 5th, so they were very well into the playoffs and 5th seed. Who wins the championship? Blake and I went for the Pride.
Nope.
Call's going our way. Sure. Anyways. And Ron with the Kansas City, who actually got knocked out by Gotham. So Gotham beat all 3 of the teams that we chose, and it was actually Gotham who won the championship.
Man, I crushed it this season.
You did. I say that you won the NWSL predictions this year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
For that, you
Well done.
round of applause. Wow, that's lovely. All right. Moving on to the MLS as we stay here in the States. The Eastern and Western Conference finals are set. In the East, it's Inter Miami and NYCFC squaring off. And over in the West, it's the new to the league club of San Diego FC taking on Vancouver Whitecaps. Excuse me. And that's where we'll start there in the West. As on Saturday night, and I don't know if you gents watched this, but I watched the good parts of this, and man, it was awesome. We were treated to an MLS classic, as in the end, 9-man Vancouver, yes, 9-man, hung on and beat their playoff boogeyman, LAFC, in a penalty shootout. So it ended 2-2 with an insane Heung-min Son free kick in the 95th minute of play. If you have not seen that free kick, my word.
And they were talking about it on the premiere during the North London Derby. It came up a few times. They mentioned that goal.
Wild kick. And that was kind of after it came 2 minutes after, in the 93rd minute, Tristan Blackman of Vancouver got sent off for a second yellow. So very late in the game, he got sent off. This is all in a free kick. It's not like it was an open play. But to tie it up in the way they did on the road in Vancouver was just insane. And that took us to the extra time. So now you got to keep in mind, Vancouver's down 1, so they're playing 10 for 2 15-minute halves of extra soccer here. They survived the first half, if you will. And then in the second half, they were down to 9 men early in the second half of that extra time because a substitute they had substituted and I was playing very, very well. Bilal Bouani, I think I'm saying that semi right, went off due to an injury, could not continue. So they're down to 9 men at this point. And somehow, with the help of, and I kid you not, both posts in their crossbar, and if you have not seen that, it is wild how that ball did not go in the back of the net. Dinged off the crossbar, came back. Denny Bouanga hit it off, or not Denny Bouanga, yeah. Denny Bouanga plays for them, yeah. And they hit it off the post, came back to him, hit it off the crossbar again. It was just a wild sequence, and they just held off wave and wave of LA attacks. So in the PKs we got, and in kind of a weird, sad way, it was ultimately the hero for LAFC who helped set the tone in the penalty shootout as Son rattled the first kick of the penalty shoot off the post. So first person to step up on away in Vancouver. You just had a golazo to tie it up. You had a brace on the day, and he struck every bit of that ball, and it rattled the hell out of the post, but bounced square out.
You know what we call that? So Spursy.
Yeah. See that one coming. Vancouver would then go on to hang on and win 4-3 in penalties, which saw them finally advance over LAFC, who have knocked them out twice in the past 2 years in that first best-of-3 round of playoffs.
The best-of-3, 2 rounds of paper, scissors.
The third year that we've been doing the best-of-3. So after we've done it for 3 years, best-of-3, that means the fourth year we're doing something different.
Something changes.
Parker might not be around next year. So
yeah, right. So that game was wild. If you not get that, watch it. I'd say watch the full game. Go and watch it on Apple TV Plus. And oh, by the way, gentlemen, did you know this?
It's history.
It's history. The
Paywall.
whole paywall behind MLS is gone. If you have Apple TV,
I held out.
Just included. You did.
I held out because it bothered me. It never made sense to me. I know they had to make the money. There was something tied with Messi's contract. But if you were going to grow the league, I just did not understand another fee on top of it just didn't make sense to me. So this seems much smarter.
And if you didn't know that, if you're a season ticket holder, I believe most clubs, at least Orlando City is, I can speak for them,
they give us free,
are giving us free Apple TV.
Oh,
is how I read it.
That's cool. Yeah.
So instead of us of doing it, the email from the club, because you're a club full season ticket member, we're letting you know that starting in 2026, all Major League Soccer broadcasts and exclusive programming will be part of an Apple TV subscription at no additional cost.
I know it's not fair, but when you get Peacock as well as the Premier League with it, it just felt weird paying for Apple TV and then another fee on top for MLS. Comparatively, and that's what people are going to compare it to.
Yep.
I wouldn't have done it if we weren't getting it for free as a season ticket holder.
Absolutely. Standalone MLS Pass service will no longer be offered as a separate subscription. Your 2026 Club Full Season Ticket membership will entitle you to an Apple TV subscription in 2026. One per account. Your Apple TV subscription will provide access to every MLS match starting next season, as well as hundreds of exclusive Apple original shows and movies, weekly MLB games with Friday Night Baseball, and all Formula One races starting in 2026 for U.S. viewers.
Question is it only good for the MLS season and the playoffs and the final, or is it good for a calendar year?
Good question.
Wait. But what do you mean by calendar year, Ron? Are you meaning that Blake's victory of finally getting the MLS?
Look at that segue.
That wasn't what I meant.
But
I figured we would get there.
Yep.
Yeah, that is a. I think I was moaning about that so early on in this show about why don't we just have the freaking international calendar for America? We don't play in cold months. Well, then your finals are in cold months. This is stupid. And we Don Garber, thanks.
You take your victory lap. Go on.
Thank you for listening to this podcast and finally pushing it over the line.
I will say, if you've not tuned in before, Blake has been banging that drum for a very, very long time.
Yeah,
and it's not set next season, but it's the season after that.
Yeah, 27.
Yeah, and they're going to start.
But next year gets a short season.
July, I think they're going to start a little bit earlier.
But next season gets a short season, right? Because
something like that. Start.
Yeah,
the season starts in March normally. not
Correct,
August.
but the new one will start, I think, in July or
Yeah.
June, and then run all the way and end in the May-ish time frame. So start adhering to the breaks and that sort of thing. So pretty interesting from MLS. And oh, by the way, over in the East, it was none other than Lionel Messi who helped propel Inter Messi MLS FC to their first Western Conference Finals as his lone goal and 3 assists accounted for all 4 goals of Inter Miami's as they scratched that Messi. I don't know what the hell I wrote. And demolish. I said, okay. 4 goals for Inter Miami, but scratch that as it was all Messi pretty much beat them and demolished FC Cincinnati on the road 4-0. Inter Miami advanced to their first conference finals of their existence and will take on the 3-time conference finalist of NYCFC. So, who you got and or who you want in these?
This all fits in the Don Garber being forced out narrative. Miami's going to win. He brought Messi in. He got the calendar changed. Now, since the owners hate him, they're going to give him his victory and then they're going to boot him.
Also, the change in calendar that we kind of glossed over. How many seasons are we going to get in 26 and 27? 3.
I don't know. It's weird.
It's going to be 3. Because that's what I was looking for with this. And I don't know if this Don Garber, is this something, is this tied into him leaving too? Is this something he fought? Did he want, I'm curious to know where this all slides out, but
it didn't happen without him.
No, that's true.
Yeah. And I mean, the rest of the owners voted on it.
Yeah. But the new season, basically,
right, yeah.
The change is 27 is the new calendar will run from mid-July to May with a break in winter from mid-December to early February. But there's a transition season, a shorter transitional season will take place from February to May in 27 before the schedule is adopted. So there's like a transitional mini season. And then, which is like, if you're going to be MLS, you might as well do it weird, right? So they're going to.
So are you going to do a shortened season from July to December, end it in December, like we're kind of doing right now in a way, taking a break, coming back with a shorter season ending in May, and then by that time you're on the normal schedule? Is that the thought?
No, May 27 is going to be the end of a shortened season from February 27 to May 27.
Correct.
Then mid-July 27 to May 28 is the next full season.
Correct. But are you
rewind it from
Correct.
that one that ends in May in 27, like February to May,
so
right?
20,
What's happening before that?
Oh,
so
no,
2026
next year.
will end in November 7, 2026, kind of like normal MLS. And then there'll be a short season, February 20
one short season and then
to May. Then yeah.
So then what happens with like Nations League and League's Cup and
well, that's the whole point. Is after that transitional season, we will now be on a schedule that is better for the global soccer calendar to avoid conflicts with international breaks and
I would assume, and I don't know if any details have come out with this, but the League's Cups of the MLS Apple TV messy version of the cup that they want to start. I would assume gets integrated either like Chupacabra Cup or FA Cup.
Yeah. Just no one's
Lamar
come out and
Hunt
said
will
anything.
kind of do it correct. The Champions League is already played at off times of what the MLS plays. If I'm not mistaken, it's played a little bit earlier than the season starts.
Right.
So your other leagues
Because
in
preseason
Mexico and stuff, yeah.
Like
is
Seattle was playing
when
in
they're playing.
preseason.
Correct. Yeah. So that will align fairly well. I mean, I don't know if they fully announced those and kind of how it's going to be ironed out, but it's certainly interesting. The league itself is also growing. There's a new team in Utah or something? Not Utah. But where's the new team at? Anyways, and there's also a lot of that pro rel being talked here in the lower leagues
for
of the US.
USL. Yeah.
USL. So the American soccer landscape is slowly starting to change in many, many ways.
Before you wrap up the roundup, can I throw in one?
Yeah.
So I used to live in Knoxville, and I attended the USL League One Knox Club. They ended an undefeated home season. So they're undefeated at home, got to the playoffs for the first time, and Knox won this past, I guess the weekend before, but they won the USL League One championship. And they played, they had an amazing season with 57 points before going on to win the playoffs. But first time in playoffs, won the league, and again at home, totally had an undefeated run. And One Knox games were a blast to go to. Still one of my favorite soccer crests in the U.S.
Oh, yeah,
that
was awesome.
I like that crest quite a bit. So it was great. It was nice because it was on Paramount. Was it on Paramount Plus? Yeah, it sits down. Yeah. So cut that on Paramount Plus. Got to watch the Knox lads win the championship. It's pretty good. They ended 30 matches. They had 16 wins, 9 draws, and 5 losses, 17 goal differential, and 57 points for the season.
Pretty awesome, man.
Yeah,
and
it's pretty rad.
Paramount Plus showing all sorts of leagues. That Serie A, NWSL games, and of course the Champions League as it's back. Round 5, your Tuesday edition. We'll kind of quickly run through these as we're getting very short on time, and we've even gone way over. But Benfica 2-0 winners over Ajax. Union St. Galois 1-0 winner over Galatasaray. Juventus 3-2 winners over Bodo Glimt. Borussia Dortmund getting a good win over Villarreal, 4-0 on the day with a brace from the main man, Garassi. And then you had Chelsea, Ron's own, as we've been kind of alluding to all pod, 3-0 winners over Barcelona.
Which, how does that happen? How does Chelsea beat a team that got a red card? That's usually the other way around. Chelsea's got to get that red card to win.
But, that red card was in the 44th minute. There was already a goal. Yes, it was an own goal, but already a goal. Estiva in the 55th, and then Delap again scoring for Chelsea. But you look at the map and the stats, once again, all Chelsea. 1.89 on the expected goals. That's funny. They scored 3. 15 total shots and 3 big chances. 56% of the possession. And they just, I didn't get a chance to watch a whole lot of this game, but just from stats and things alone, I'm going to go back and watch the highlights. It just seemed that they were kind of all over him. And then certainly that red card by Araujo in the 44th minute for Barcelona. Ronald Araujo was the center back for them, getting sent off. So good for Chelsea. Now they take on Arsenal next on Sunday. All right, to round out the rest of the action, Man City, how are they going to bounce back after a 2-1 defeat at Newcastle? Well, the 2-0 defeat to Bayern Leverkusen is how they would bounce back. A Grimaldo and shit goal in each half. And City in a little bit of a rut all of a sudden where they were just piling along. Now it's like, well, they can't seem to beat much of anybody. And did we say who Man City has next in the league? I don't know if we did or not, but they played Leeds on Saturday. So you would expect them to get back on track, but who knows? Marseille said, hey, you know what? We are going to do to you what you did to Man City. And despite you guys scoring first, the second time on this pod mentioned Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, a brace, 2 goals for Marseille as they beat Newcastle. And Timi Weah, U.S. men's national team, got an assist on the second goal for them. And Marseille are an interesting team because not only do they have Aubameyang, a outcast of the Premier League, they also have Mason Greenwood on their team and had him for all season. He's doing quite well in the French league as he already has himself a bag of goals, 10 goals, 3 assists on 11 starts in the league. So, Marseille doing okay so far. And you wonder from them if they have enough to really push PSG in the league, as they're on 28 points, 2 behind PSG and the McDonald's league. Oh,
really likes those French fries.
yes, she does. Supersize me, baby. Slavia Prague Athletic Club played to a 0-0. And Napoli, 2-0 winners over Karabag. And who other than the Scotsman? The bicycle Scotsman, if you didn't see that in the international break, even got higher on his bicycle than 41-year-old Ronaldo did in the Saudi league. But he scored in the 65th minute to open up the scoring for Napoli. And they went on to win 2-0 over Karabag. You're probably not going to hear this in time, but Wednesday's Champions League fixtures are as such real quick. Karat versus Copenhagen. Pavos versus Monaco, Arsenal versus Bayern Munich, the premier match on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So that should be a fun one. Obviously, you'll hear this in your ears probably by the time you know that score. Atletico Madrid, Inter, another good one. Eintracht Frankfurt versus Atalanta, good one. Liverpool and PSG Eindhoven, sneaky good there. Olympiacos and Real Madrid. PSG versus Tottenham Hotspur, as we said earlier.
Hilarious.
And Sporting from Portugal against Club Brugge. And that will round out your round 5 of the Champions League. And that has been your LeagueA's Roundup.
Boom! That was a long one, but it's nice. We had the group all together. Well, at least 2 of the 3 guys all in the same spot together. It was nice to do. Hey, our beer's the pod. We're the Pennsylvania Tuxedo from Dogfish Brewing.
From us, we had the Ron
Toll Road Brewing Schnitzen Giggle Fest beer. It was quite tasty.
It was. And right now I am drinking the Sweater Weather Cranberry Orange Cream Ale. And it is damn good. Ron, I know that you didn't try this. I don't mean to call you out on the pod, but I'm going to call you out because I get to enjoy this second one myself because it's darn good.
You do that.
Or you can take it home with you if you want. It's up to you.
What a swell guy.
All from Toll Road right down the street in Ocoee, Florida. Awesome.
Ferris, you got a Zlatan quote-ish or a Zlatan-inspired quote?
I do not. If you want to continue on, I'm going to find a quote here, so give me just a second.
All right. Well, as always, tell your friends, your families, your relatives. Hey, when you're sitting around Thanksgiving dinner, don't talk politics, get in fights. Talk about how rad the Beautiful Game is and get people to listen to us. How you like that pitch?
Love that.
When Uncle Frank, after his ass crack beer, starts talking about politics you don't like, just start talking about the Beautiful Game.
Still got to learn to say that in German.
Just talk about the shape of the lobster jello mold that your grandma has.
Oh, yes.
A classic but a goodie. The lobster jello mold. Oh man. Leave us a rating and review. We much appreciate it. And find us on all the things the unsocials. What I meant to say was the socials, like the Untapped, where you can find the beers and what we have been drinking. I've been trying to get all my Pennsylvania stuff in there lately. So glad to have moved to another place with a ton of good breweries. Although Iron City Brewing was closed recently, and that was a classic around here. So it is still a little sketchy in that side of the world. Ferris, you got a quote yet?
I do. We mentioned it a little bit earlier, but it's from Pep Guardiola this week in his pre-match press conference ahead of Man City's clash against Bayern Leverkusen, which I lost today. So I'm curious to see what his quotes from that are. But he has since apologized to the cameraman over the incident that he had that you had talked about. I apologized. I feel embarrassed, ashamed when I see it. He said, I don't like it. I apologized after 1 second to the cameraman. I am who I am after 1,000 games. I'm not a perfect physician. I make huge mistakes. I'm not about that. What is for sure, I defend any team in my club, that's for sure. The reason why is I want to defend my team and club. This is no doubt because from my experience to win the Premier League, we have to do 100 points, 98 points. Otherwise, we don't win. That's for sure. So started off apologizing, then went on to a weird rant about how he's coached Man City and he's done well.
Pep made it
That's
about
pretty
himself.
much what I got from it.
That's what I got from it too. Oh, hey, I don't get no respect over here. I got some questions for you guys. How does Thanksgiving always end? With a G. Hey, when does Christmas come before Thanksgiving? In the dictionary. Eh? All right, my friends are telling me to stop Thanksgiving jokes, but the thing is, I can't quit them cold turkey.
You know what you just reminded me of here? Real quick, if you don't follow this guy on Instagram, do it. But it reminds me so much of what you just did there. This guy, I don't know if you've seen it, but he basically will dress up and go on subways with a mic and just have all of these quick jokes. And he's always like,
Yeah, I know. And no one pays attention to him.
No one pays attention
but
to him.
But he keeps going.
And he keeps going. He dresses up as all of these things. And I have to find, because I want to give him a shout out on his Instagram, but it is hysterical. And what you just did reminded me of that. Oh gosh, give me just a second here. It's hysterical though.
What kind of music did the Pilgrims listen to? Huh? Plymouth Rock.
Marcus J. Monroe on Instagram.
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
Hysterical.
Oh. Before we hop off, news. Richard Branson was about to step in to become the new sponsor of Spurs. It looks like he backed out last minute because he realized having the Virgin logo appearing on the shirt of a team that gets every week wouldn't make a lot of sense. Hey, love the beer.
Well done.
Cherish the game. The beautiful game. London is a red.